On September 16, Governor Jerry Brown signed into law the 3 Feet for Safety Act. The law requires a motorist to maintain a 3-foot space with cyclists. Drivers can be cited a fine up to $220 if there is any physical contact with the cyclist. Cliff Berkowitz, a former daily cycling commuter, stopped commuting on his bicycle after a motorcycle hit him a few years ago. He's glad that California decided to take action, but feels like the penalties need to be higher for motorists.
Well, it's a common sense law that's been a long time coming. It's on the books in a lot of other states. It took a while for it to finally get passed here in California. I wish the penalties for passing a cyclist when it is not safe were a little stiffer. They're even not very stiff even if you strike a cyclist, but at least there is an actual law on the books at this point, and that's a positive step.
Sergeant Packer of the University Police Department explains how officers will enforce the law.
It's an infraction as opposed to a misdemeanor or obviously a felony. So it must be something that the officer on views. In other words, it's something that's committed in his or her presence in order for a citation, although a person that is observing it could call it in and report it as an incident that occurred. Obviously the bicyclist, if they got the license plate of the car, could document it with us, could call it in and file the complaint about the behavior, the driving behavior of the person that passed them on the roadway.
Leanne Schutzley, a bus driver for the Arcata and Mad River Transit, feels like the new law will decrease accidents.
I actually think that the new law that's coming into place between bicyclists and motorists is wonderful. It's something that's a common consideration. I think the motorist should be able to give 3 feet towards a bicyclist. There is one thing that the bicyclist has to realize though, is a lot of them like to run the white line, and there are a lot of double yellow lines on our roads, and so they potentially could have a whole line of cars behind them. They'll have to become more aware of the situation around them and the vehicles around them so they can move over a little bit, because otherwise they will have cars stacked up behind them. In the same vein, I think it's really good that motorists are being expected to give them at least 3 feet of room, just as a safety issue in itself. The less accidents we have as a professional driver is a wonderful thing as far as I'm concerned.
Now that the new law is in effect, drivers must drive more cautiously when they're driving near cyclists. This is Ramirez reporting for the Lumberjack.